Hi, my name is Sam Rademeyer, and I'm here at Elevation. And thanks to Elevation, I have gone from not being able to really move very smoothly at all. My gait was very interrupted. I was hurting on the hip, was not able to move and even walk. And in fact, I would have to get up at times and walk about, maybe half a step or two to the bathroom from one room to the next, and have to sit down and get my breath because I couldn't move at all. My gait was very slow, there was no endurance, and I just felt bad. Then, whenever we came over here to Elevation, when we decided that maybe I needed really to look into something that was wrong, and discovered that, I was just a whack, so to speak, to use the term, because I found out that my spine and my posture and everything was just really not what it should be. And so through the process of x-rays and checking the things out, doing some exercises, and then going through the treatment, wow, what a difference. I can walk now. I couldn't walk before, but boy, let me tell you, it is no pain, and I feel very good about myself. In fact, I have more confidence about the fact that I'm back to myself again and feeling better, and all because thanks to the employees here, the staff of Elevation, that I was able to do this. And I don't know what I can say more than but giving thanks for being able to move better. In my golfing, I can go get out of the cart, and if there's cart path only, I feel like I want to walk over to my ball, wherever it's at on the course, and hit the ball and come back to my cart. Love outside work, just raking, picking up. Right now it's leaves and sticks and so forth that's falling out of our tree. That's a willow that's not really well, and just the movement of being able, when I would rake like this, could not. It was painful because I would drag my leg on the right side, being able to say, "Can I get it? Can I get it? No, I'll just quit." And so I would push a little bit here. Now, I do the whole yard. I rake it up, I put it in the pan, I go out and do the recycling and so forth. When I'm walking now, that I used to not be able to go with my wife at all, we're walking 30 minutes in the morning, early in the morning. I said, no, I just better not do it. Only because of the fact I think I was embarrassed of the fact that I couldn't get it and do it. And I would go one block with her, and then I'd come back. She would go on, and I'd turn around, and I would fight walking back that back spot because it really hurt. Now, I go out and walk 30 minutes with her, and not be a problem with it. Come back and feel good, still do my regular chores of raking or golfing, whatever it might be. Walking up and down steps was a very painful, hard decision to make for whether or not I should, when I go down to watch the football games or the TV programs downstairs, because that's where our family room is at, I take everything down because I didn't want to come back up the steps. Now, I take the left foot and leg and just walk right on up, and no problem one bit. It's such a wonderful feeling, and I think it's confidence. It's the fact that I have the endurance, the stability. I'm better, stable. I take my time in walking and watching steps that I do so that I don't fall. And that's a real credit to what Elevation has done for me in these few weeks. The hip area, especially on the left side, even though it was more on the left side where I was hurting, but it was on the right side that seemed like it affected the whole back, the back end, and it was on the hip side all the way down. And there was a pain that on this left side would just kind of burn all the way down to my ankle. And I could feel it in the foot at times when I would be walking, where there was such a pain down in there that on my foot, I would take my shoes off just to relax them a little bit because of that pain. but I don't feel that anymore. I don't, when I'm walking out on the golf course now, I don't feel that pain down there. And, in fact, there was times, to be honest, as much as I love to play golf, there was times where I'd hit the ball, and if I had to walk down a slope of some sort and come back up, I just said, I picked the ball up before I got on the green and went on, because any kind of slope I would notice. We'd walk in the mornings, and going downhill was fine, but it was coming back uphill that was the hardest task to do, because it began to pull all the way down from the ankle all the way up here and burn. But I don't feel that now. It's just such a difference. And I feel like getting up and moving. At basketball games, which I love to do and watch our grandchildren play, I just dreaded. I still take my pad along because the benches are, but it's not near when I get up, going up steps, wherever it might be. And especially if we're sitting up at the very top. I almost thought, oh no, do I go up, get everything, and get my drink or refreshments, and then stay up there, or what do I do? Make one stop? I don't feel like that. I feel like I want to be out and back, moving again, and exercise. And being diabetic, it's very important for me to get that exercise, to keep my blood flowing, because I don't want to be a couch potato, to be honest with you. I'm not that kind of person, and I love being outside and doing things. My thoughts on chiropractic is the fact that I think I grew up in a time in the 60s and the 70s where there was a rather kind of negative image about chiropractors. Therapy and things like this were important, or doing your own, but there was a kind of a thinking in the terms of they're going, they will hurt you or they will do something like this. But now that I have grown older and had more opportunity to read about chiropractic work and so forth, you learn that there's more new techniques that doctors have, and the people who are doing it have suggested that, hey, we've looked into this a lot more and done a lot more research on how not to hurt somebody, but to help somebody. And that's where I have found that when the time came when my son, and he was the one who said maybe this is the possibility, and a new person's here who he works with as an athletic director, athletic assistant director over at the high school in Jackson. He knew some of the people here and that were working with his trainers and over there, and he gave good positive report, and so that's why we wanted to try it. And I'm glad we did, because they have been so personal, so going at the problem, not just putting a Band-Aid on it, but going at the problem and saying, okay, here's your problem. Look at the way your posture. Look at how you're standing. You're not looking up. Look at how you're bending over, when you should be looking straight ahead. And being able to feel good about yourself, and then to go through the treatment, it felt so good, because it was not a long type of thing, but it was getting this thing back adjusted to where it should be. I always felt like I was in gear, but not quite, or like a lock. When you're turning a lock, I had it halfway, but I couldn't get it all the way. And this is what this felt like before I came in here, but it doesn't feel like that now. I feel like, boy, I got it, and I'm back into that, where it's back into the shape again. And I pick up a lot of things, and one of the things I found out that helps by coming here is I can pick things up now. I kind of are weary about not picking up heavy things anymore, because I get the grandchildren to help. But I don't feel bad about picking something up, because I know it's not going to hurt. And I think that they have studied and learned so many new techniques to help us get better. And we're not going to be perfect, but it's putting us back on the road again, to live again and feel good about not having pain, or feeling that, oh no, well, I can't go, or I don't want to go because I don't want to get up and embarrass my family. and I didn't want to do that because that's not me. I've always been out and about. So I thank Elevation for what they have done, all of you, because of your personal touch, your professionalism. You went right away in dealing with it, and just in this short time. It seems like it's just gone so quickly. I've learned, I've grown a lot and felt better, much better. So I thank you very much for what you've done.
Thank you, Mr. Sam.